line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
It's a beautiful day here in Martinsville, Virginia, and race fans, we're set to go for tonight's action of the Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series. The championship is about to commence, and there are certainly some drivers that want to make it in. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Charger, joining you guys here today. We are live here now, Martinsville, Virginia right now as we get ready for Martinsville Speedway, the paperclip track to be exact. One of the toughest tracks in my opinion to really master and hit home on. And this place will test your patience as much as it'll test yourself and your quick wits, as we're about to present to you, presented in part by Spartan Logistics Management LLC, by R&R Racewear, the official merch store and online racing place to get all your iRacing needs and IROC Challenge Series shirts and designs, by Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment, by SimSpeedShop.com, by Track Time Entertainment, and by 5-Star Graphics. Very big thank you from all of us here at PTM Racing TV Studios, as well as from the IROC Challenge Series. Now, do not fear, do not be alarmed, race fans. I know you do not see anything up on your end yet. Do not worry. I'm not trying to blind you guys or go off the distance and I'm lost my mind. I'm currently working on getting some of the things taken care of here. So we're currently working on getting the overlays set and all that. I was a little late to the show, I shall say. I'm not going to be lying to my people or lying to the folks. I was a little off and I was a little down and out. But you know who's not down and out? Our drivers today. And with that said, let's bring him in now, race fans. He joins me here in the number 83. Brandon Medford here joins us now on the call list. And Brandon, starting to get closer to the end game here, my friend. And right now, you currently have got the green still on. You've got the green light to possibly make it big here. What's going through your mind here?
Yeah, what's going through my mind is to keep this thing in one piece right now, so we can be there at the end.
Be there at the end here. Now, how tough do you think the tires are going to be handling compared to what we've seen here in previous times with the Martinsville races?
I'm not real sure. They don't seem to have a lot of fall off. Maybe about 2 to 5 tenths after 15 or 20 laps. So tires will come into play because we only have 3 sets, but I don't think they're going to play a big a part as they have the last few races.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, though, as we get set to go for the action here, we wish you nothing but the best of luck here from all of us here at PTM Racing TV.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Medford here in the number 83 here getting set to go for the action as he's currently getting locked and loaded into that car. And that said, it's time to introduce to you the drivers of the Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series with the grid order today. Here we go. We'll start them up on the top. Your number 1 seed, Kevin, is Brian McCann, the number 3, and then to his outside, it is going to be his family member, the 33, Kevin McCann. Row number 2, it's going to be Troy Radford and Troy Radford, and 94 is outside. Then will be Aaron Smith from the number 1, looking to go 5 in a row. Look at his 5 win of streak going. Chris Medford going in the end on the 3rd row, and that 46 outside David E. Brown in the 7th. Row number 4, Neil Quick will be in the number 2's outside. We just talked with him. Brandon Medford, the 8-3. Row number 5, Tim Schofield, and 12's outside. Doug Wysocki in the number 34. Row number 6 is Chris Wally in the 5, with Jeff Napier in the number 40 to his outside. And the final starters are shotgun of the field. Row 7, Ray Radford in the 47, and Cook Quick in the number 54. And race fans, you wanted to see some racing, you wanted to see some battling. Well, welcome to Martinsville Speedway here in Martinsville, Virginia. You guys are in for a treat. These guys are going to have to fight, scratch, and claw everything here on this surface, as it has been determined and settled to take some of the best to their limits, and the patience level will be indeed tested with these guys here. Looks like we're all set to go. Finally have everything ready to go, playing out on the field. Thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you again to those that are tuned in. And now we present to you the round 2 race number 2 of the Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series playoffs. We'll turn them off out of turn number 4. Bring them to the green. Start them up. Stage number 1 is coming your way. Here we go now down the first straightaway here out of the gate. Drivers already taking their time, being a little bit patient. They don't want to go too crazy out of the gate. Brian McCann, number 3, gets the early jump on the start. Little problem down there for David D. Browns. He has a little bit of a problem keeping up in the pace and keeping through the corners. Has to fight his way back in around as Brandon Medford tries to get the inside line from him. And the number 1, though, Aaron Smith, looking to get 5 wins in this playoff hunt. Looking to be the defending champion and looking to repeat his title crown. He's been in the shoe before. He knows what it takes to be, and he knows what it takes to win. Will he be able to square up and take these boys down a few notches? We shall see. He's been played out, though, before on these short tracks. Will it happen here? If you're just now tuning into the show here, folks, be sure to share this one on around. Let your fans, let your friends know, let your family know. We are live, we are hard, we are charging, we're going for broke here. It's an awesome scenery here. It's an awesome display of raw power being put up from these next-gen Cup cars. And really, is there any surprise with that? Now, the one thing, though, we are a little concerned of, and we did see it back at the actual live racing of it, is how were these cars going to be affected tire wear, and how are they going to be affected trying to get another line going to the point where it would actually make it more of a kind of a hard charge, kind of a hard runoff race here between these guys. And right now, trouble down there for number 40, Jeff Napier. He's already spotted off down turn number 4. Has it refired though and got to recenter it off here. Hopefully he'll be able to keep himself under control and keep himself in the playing field. No caution yet as Brian McCann comes right in between there. Had to get a little bit of a runoff on him. Got to get that speed back. Hammers down yet again. Brian and Kevin, your race leaders here. Aaron Smith falling from behind. And remember, Brian and Aaron, they are battling in a hard dash for the championship stakes. I've never seen 2 drivers go as hard as they've had to go through in their career, and yet they are just completely tormenting and pushing themselves to their absolute limits. Whoa, trouble down there though in turn number 4. That's Troy Radford in a surprising move here. Actually spins it out in turn number 4. That's 2 cars we've now seen get loose or get tight on that surface. I am surprised here because Troy has been known on these short tracks to lay it in and lay it thick, and he's been an extremely key opponent to making everything work, but this was a big mistake here. We take a look at the PTM Racing replay. Today is presented in part by Track Time Entertainment. Another look at it shows you exactly where everything went wrong. Came off that corner, and it's just sideways all the way around. The good news for him, though, is he did not get any damage. Unfortunately, you can't say the same for Jeff Napier, as the number 40 takes another little spin and twist and a twirl. We'll go on board with him. We'll show you guys what his steering looked like when he was spinning around there. See, just drove it way too wide, then back off the gas and had no real control. Remember, those rear ends of these cars have a habit of making things extremely difficult, and that certainly is one of the cases you can make there with these guys. Fuel will get squared back up to place, though. We'll talk with our drivers now here. Joining me in the booth now, ladies and gentlemen, is the number 5, Chris Wally, back on the call here. And Wally, it's good to see you again, my friend, as you head down from Florida down to the Virginia state. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Yeah, man, I'm doing well tonight. You know, coming down in the season here, trying to get through. hopefully we can have a halfway decent showing.
Halfway decent showing indeed, and of course, as you just mentioned, nearly the end of the season commencing. Just 2 more races left under the stage here. One being at Daytona, and then the other being the championship race at Auto Club. I mean, with this race though, this is literally a comparison to absolutely nothing because this is the shortest track you guys are going to run, and it's, in my opinion, probably going to be the toughest. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. You know, you go from this race right here, which anybody can win and lock themselves into that final 4, and then you follow it up with Daytona, which once again that's going to be a wild card. So, you know, there's a few of these guys that have ran really well all season. They got to make sure they have really 2 good weekends in a row, so they don't get shuffled out.
They absolutely do indeed, but nevertheless, here we do appreciate your time here, Wally. Thanks for your input, and we'll see what happens down here on the track.
Appreciate it.
Number 5, Chris Wally, taking some time to talk with us here. Joining me now on the call list here is the number 54, ladies and gentlemen, representing the 54 Spartan camp is Cook Quick. Cook, how you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good.
Pretty good indeed. So, right now, we talked earlier on about how the tire wear was going to be affected, but it looks like a lot of drivers are kind of getting a little bit more of the control basis here with this next gen. Is it just the track is a little slick right now, making it a little bit harder to keep around the outside?
Yeah, it's definitely loose coming off. You got to make sure you have good throttle control on it. Otherwise, you're going to definitely loop it.
You're going to be looping it here. I know definitely going to be a little tough on the restart. Anything really thoughts-wise to get to that bottom quickly?
I'm just trying to keep it going straight. That's all I got to try to do.
For sure there. All right, we'll get you back in, but best of luck, bud.
Thanks.
You can see we had a little bit of a mistiming communication there. We were trying to get him in as soon as possible, but didn't quite go that way, so we'll just leave it at that. Here we go now, to race fans. Back to the start. Green flag back on out. We're underway. Our flagman waves our drivers down into the sectors here, down into the corners, and remember that's a concrete surface, not asphalt. They're running through those turns. The gray is concrete. The very dark gray is asphalt, and a lot of drivers will tell you, don't get yourself caught up in that asphalt. Stay in the gray. The only time you go to the asphalt is just to try to avoid people. I've only seen like maybe 2 or 3 races where anyone was even able to get some speed on the outside, and that was just because they were going 3 wide. They had pretty much everyone else kind of bunched up. That inside line, the bottom lane where you see these guys at right now, that's the only line they're going to be able to use to their fullest potential and fullest extent. We are on board here right now with David E. Brown as he continues to drive off the car. Trying to dictate the pace, trying to find some momentum where they can. Again, you can just see, though, how tricky some of these corners are really getting some of these guys. They're going to put them out of place a little bit. They don't feel like they're necessarily in the right area, the right spot. And the problem is, again, is if you're trying to force the habit of trying to push these things around a little bit, then you're going to force the drivers to get a little bit antsy down there. And that's the last thing you want to do is make enemies on this track. 2 huge wildcard races here, this one being the first of them, and then the next one being, of course, Daytona. A win locks you in, and points-wise locks you in as well. And that points race right now, extremely close, to say the least. We're going to look at the points race right now here and take a look at it very carefully. As we entered in after this race here at Homestead Miami Speedway, we take a look now. The points is set with Aaron Smith, 7 straight wins still. He's at a solid total of 4,098. Ryan McCann, though, at 4,081. He's literally right in that hunt. Chris Medford, how about this? 4,067, and then 4,064 between Troy Radford with Brandon Medford at 4,050. There's some big gains to go up. David E. Brown, Tim Schofield, Neil Quick, they're all in this still. Neil Quick's a bit of a wild card due to that 4,015 limit. I don't know if that's going to be enough for him to really kind of structure back from and really take full control of. He kind of lost his edge there really late in the season, which honestly is something I would never have thought to say about the number 2 Neil Quick, because you remember at the beginning of the season, he was your points leader. Oh, hold on, trouble down there yet again. Troy Radford gets clipped, and it looks like that was by Cook Quick. Then the number 54 round down turn number 1, 2. You know, I was just talking about how good of a position right now Troy Radford is in, and I gave him the kiss of death, if you will. He was just trying to get some points in, and I think I may have ended up just costing him more than I think he wanted to here. Thankfully, it's Martinsville, so the damage not too bad, but let's take a look at the replay. Presented by Track Time Entertainment. Here's the instant replay. Looked like just came around that corner, tried to dive it down in, and he got it right in with the 54. Again, these cars can take a bit of a beating. You can see it barely took any damage, if any. So the 94 will be okay to refire and restart, but points-wise, this is not going to help his case out if he finishes where he's at. So should be interesting to see how the guys get really squared back up and put back into position here as we settle them back down. Let's take it down now and talk here with David E. Brown here and have a listen in here with that number 7 camp as he now joins me here on the line here. David, it's good to see you again, my friend. How are you tonight?
Hey, bud. Good to be here. Yeah, I'm great.
Great indeed. So, we see you entering in tonight in the 6th place spot with only 2 spots up left to go to get to that top 4. With the final 4 in stage here, I mean, Martinsville seems like a pretty good track here to really make some showcases of yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, either do or die here at Martinsville, right? So I'm hoping I'm a doer.
You gotta do it.
With these guys, you know, hey, I'm super happy and to be coming in here in 6th place with these guys. They're so talented, and I'm learning so much running with them, you know, every time. So yeah, I'm just stoked to be here, still in the hunt, and boy, just gotta survive and. You know, don't do anything dumb, and see if we can come out of it. And got 1 more to go, and top 4 is tall order, but you know, that'd be fantastic, right? Even if the season ended now, I'd be real happy.
Well, I was gonna just say about did you at any point in this season actually believe or even think you would get to this moment where you have a chance at making it with those guys?
No, not at all. I mean, coming in early in the season, I was like, holy mackerel. I was lucky to hold down a 25th place position. And so, yeah, just learning a ton. You know, I think I can compete in the top 10 now. Top 5, I don't know about that. Maybe next season.
For sure there. All right, well, David, we do appreciate you coming on board here, sir. Thank you for your time and your input tonight.
Thank you much.
David E. Brown, ladies and gentlemen, the number 7 here, taking some time to talk with you fans out there, and you can tell by his excitement and his longevity, he's extremely happy to be put in this spot. Field now set back to go here as we're getting ready to field him down in real quick. And again, just absolutely what a performance by everybody involved in the hard racing that follows and everyone that puts up and fights out here down on the track. They've given it their heart. They've given it their soul. They just simply don't give in, man. They want to go for broke. They want to go for it all. And can you really blame them, man? They got to go for what they can do, and they got to drive for their hardest and their most prestige. That's exactly what they brought to the table, and that's what they're going to get here yet again. Off of corner number 4. We're still in stage 1 territory, race fans. Time to get them back going. Here we go. Alright, we'll bring him down around out of turn number 1 and 2 here. Aaron Smith gets the advantage on the inside run. There, Meffert going down to the bottom, though, makes a good jump off. Chris Wally, Cook Quick, and have a little battle. Neither driver in the playoffs. The best way to know, just look for that green little marker there on their cars. Coming off the edge, though, you know who is in that playoffs hunt? The man in the 94, and he's fighting hard to get some positions, to get some paddles off the speeds. Hard charging it right by there in the number 54, Cook Quick. Remember earlier, those two got into it. They're calling for the caution. Troy able to manage and weasel his way back around, though. It is truly a driver's track here. It's a driver's course. You know, the way these guys have got to keep hitting their marks, hit their spots up. One guy that knows how to drive with the best of them is the number 33, Kevin McCann. And, you know, I honestly last season would never have guessed he would not be in this playoffs hunt right now. I really could never have guessed it. He was so dominant, so strong throughout the season, but unfortunately missing a few races, not being able to really go upon to the track and really take on every one of these guys, it cost him dearly. And he said to me earlier today, I know I will not win this championship this year, but with the Xfinity Series next season, I might have a chance. I want to try and do what my family member Brian did, and want to see if I can outsmart even the guy behind me, Aaron Smith. And I want to try to take everybody to the wire next season. Well, definitely a good way to start it by simply putting on a show, fighting it down here. Chris Bedford, though, look at him trying to drive on the outside here. He's getting some speed there on the number 1 of Aaron Smith. He's dipping in there a little bit. He's not giving him any room to really breathe, so he's trying to charge him, but you can see just how tough it is to get that opening without literally having to go put the front bumper into that rear bumper. And even then, it's still hard to get him to corner off and turn because, well, it's just kind of how it works. Of course, we talked about that tire wear again with those Goodyears. You know, last when from the iRace world to the real world, it seems as though that there is not too much of a difference there. The tires just do not burn or line up or really make it a little bit slicker or looser. And with these diffusers, the way these skits there and the rear ends of these cars work, it's actually pretty good to use for a short run track in a very optimistic way. But it's still very difficult to pass and make any moves. The only short track that I think really gave us a false sense of hope, at least for now anyway, was literally the LA Coliseum. It was the only track, I think, honestly, that made these drivers and made these cars actually, you know, run the way they do and how they perform down on the mile and a half. Now, before you go and completely destroy me on the comment section, hear me out. When we watch the mile and a half race, the intermediate tracks, we've been seeing these guys put on a show and put on a battle time and time again, from the virtual to the real world. But short tracks wise, it's been the complete opposite. It went from being the best to just all of a sudden we're kind of questioning how the heck did we go from we didn't want to get rid of those mile and a halves to where now they're actually the best racing we've got. And I think honestly a little bit of it just had to do with the way the tires are set and the way the car is set. There's just a few simple changes, a few simple things. If they fix them up, I guarantee you will make this car that much better and that much more fun to use. Because we've seen what it can do on a short track. It can make for some great corners and great passing and take a punishment. I think that's what we want. That's what we need. But it just needs to, we need to find that little thing, that little spot that fixes everything up. And I think then we will finally get our wish in our world. So I will say though, here so far here at Martinsville, not a bad race, but it's been kind of quiet. Stage 1, of course, we know here with these IROC Challenge drivers, they are a little quiet. They don't like to make too much noise out of the gate. But I still seeing some battles going on. I'm still seeing some pretty hard racing. David E. Brown opened the door up for that 94. Radford sneaks on his inside, takes the position, and takes control. Ray Radford on the outside, though, in the 47, making it a little bit tricky here. Troy Radford, you know, he finds himself in a very unique position. He said to me earlier, all I need to do is just go out here and collect points. I don't need to be a hero. I don't need to be a complete insane maniac and try to win out every race. I just need to simply come out here, collect the points, and collect the positions. And that will all in change work for me, and that's all I want to do. But at the same token, it almost to me seems like he's kind of found himself in a bit of a rut, found him in a bit of a position that kind of forces him to actually drive a little harder, forces him to actually drive a little bit more on edge, and it seems as though he's starting to do that here. Guys right now for the lead, they're still pretty much kind of taking it easy on one another, and still, of course, a couple laps left here in stage number 1. I'm kind of surprised though. I would have thought Brian McCann, Kevin McCann would have been racing a little bit more dodgy, but Kevin and Brian, they've been pretty quiet. Brian especially here, usually he's the guy that likes to make a little bit of noise out here. But the only thing that's making noise is those brake rotors, because you can see how hot those things are getting. Look at the yellow and the orange in there, man. You can tell how hot those things are getting. They are working the brakes. And honestly, those brakes, they work quite well here. They use exactly the way they need to and exactly what they want to do. That's the way they need to use them. Kevin is gaining ground though on Brian, so maybe Brian has used up a little too much of his equipment, used up a little too much time here. Let's see the longevity of it. Ooh, Ooh, here comes Neil. Quick though, the inside. Great corner off of turn number 1 down turn 2. He saw an opening and he said, I gotta jam the gas, man. I can't let up anymore. Oh, trouble down there for Brandon Medford though. The outside collects another one, and it collects even Troy Radford in the 94. Oh my. That is a huge, huge mishap there down for the 83. Brandon's going to have to deal with some damage on the front end of that nose, and Troy Radford much of the same. And the outside line just completely catches everybody off guard once again. It's slick on the out, but it's not slick on the bottom, and you just saw what happened to Radford there. He tried to hold on, tried to corner it back in, and he completely whiffs his turn and move there and costs both him and Troy. Troy definitely is not getting any favors here from Martinsville, though. Oh my goodness, folks. Can't seem to catch a break. See right there, Brandon just lost in the corner and tried to back off and avoid the damage, but Troy was not successful. He's going to go into pit road and see how much damage he's got up on that car here. Jeff Napier in the number 40 going to bring it right around town here for us here. Still in stage 1 though, race fans, so we'll let him square back up into pace. And I think it's time now we talk with that number 40 driver here. Jeff Napier looking to get himself in a very unique position, a very unique spot here as he joins me now here on the call list here. And Jeff, so far today, the track not being too kind to you when it comes to being on the outside. What happened down there earlier?
The first one, I just spun out, you know, and just driving in overhead. And the second one came around in the 94, I think it was turned in front of me, and I saw that. Just overcorrected and spun myself out and drove it into the fence, you know.
Drove it in the fence and kind of found yourself in a bit of a rut there. But now, as you get back your lap and also a chance at really making something work here, how difficult is it for you and the crew here to try to get some speed back underneath your hood?
I don't know, really. This is probably the worst track that I go to. This and Bristol's probably 2 of my worst. So I'm just kind of riding, you know, depending on the attrition to gain positions.
Gain positions, and maybe everybody else will kind of falter. I mean, Martinsville's been known for that, so we'll just have to see, though.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Jeff Napier, ladies and gentlemen, number 40 here, trying to get back into the position, get back in the fight. Now joining me on the call list as well is the number 2, Neil Quick. And Neil, what a great move there, entering in turn number 1 and 2, having a great battle off there with Brandon Medford. Unfortunately, Medford trying to corner back off you there in turn number 3 and 4. What happened down there with you and the team?
Nothing. I just saw the door open, and I've been riding pretty patient behind Brandon. I didn't want to get into him, and he kind of left the bottom open, so I got up underneath him, and I didn't see any contact on my part. I just got up underneath him off of 3 and 4 and got in the gas, and I saw by rearview mirror him getting squirrely, so I'm not sure what happened at that point.
No contact on our end either here. We saw it all play out, but nevertheless, though, I mean, is it kind of hard to really get this car to kind of dime it off the track here if you have to, or is it really you have to stick to that one line?
It's got a couple different lines, but it's pretty tough. You gotta make sure you hit your marks, and once you get these things in wheel spin, you know what it's like to try to get them back. It's nearly impossible.
It really is nearly impossible. Well, nevertheless, here as you fight that snap lock steering, we'll get you back into the race. Best of luck, bud.
All right, man. Thank you.
He's on desperation mode right now. Neil Quick needs to get a good points day in, and he needs some help. He's got to have points, and he's got to have a chance to get in that final 4. Neil backs it up into the turn number 4 into the front straightaway. We're going green. Entering down low, Chris Wally in the 5 and the 7 to David E. Brown battle it back out here as we are under our stage 2 break here still. And Brown driving in there with the 5. Quick now moving into the chains. Looks like there might be some speed though on the outside. You see David actually getting a bit of speed there coming off that end. Might be forcing the 5 Wally to slow up a little bit trying to dodge him in. He can see he's hanging in there. Looks like maybe I was wrong. After all, there is something on the outside. You heard Neil just say a minute ago, there is a line. There are multiple grooves. There are multiple lines. But I personally didn't see it, nor did I think that would actually be the case. I was dead set wrong. That's why you got to listen to the drivers. I can only do so much as a broadcaster because I'm not down there feeling the track. I'm not down there in those cars. That's why you pay close attention to what these drivers say and what they tell you, because sometimes what they're going to tell you is truly an observation that you can use to your advantage. Chris Wally, though, talk about really charging ahead. 6 spots up, he's in 5th. Quick, though, the hard charger today, 8 spots up. He started dead last. He's moved into the 6th slot. Well, that damage on that 94 Trey Radford may slow him down a little bit, but the good news is for him is he has a chance to get some points, though, and he can still be competitive, but unfortunately he may be a little slower off the exits of the turns. And depending on how bad that front end is damaged up, may actually have some wheel bearing damage that's going to affect the steering. And as I've told you guys so many times before, I absolutely hate that snap lock steering on these cars. I just feel like they are too much work and just too much of a mess. I know they are made for everything else, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on just a second. What has happened to Aaron Smith on the number 1? Well, we're about ready to head into stage number 2, but hold the phone, race fans. Something went wrong with Aaron Smith on the number 1, and I think he learned the hard way what happens when you try to overdrive here in turn 3 and 4. Came off that corner there, and there it is right there. I told you guys a minute ago, I absolutely hate that snap lock steering for a reason. There's your reason. You see the car just get completely a little loose, and instead of being a little smoother, he pretty much almost feels like a Formula 1 car. Literally at that point, you're just pretty much stuck to the throttle and then hoping for the best it'll steer itself out. It's almost impossible to save it though when you're lost from that spot. Here's another look at it. Watch this. See right there, he lost it. He tried to save it, but you can just see, if you just make that sudden movement too quick, the car just will not save itself. It will lose all that gain, all that ground, and that's exactly what happened to Aaron Smith. Bit of a wild game. What a bit of a wild catch and a little bit of a wild throw out here on the track. Cook Quick will stay on out. Chris Bedford going to stay out as well, so we'll bring him in now. The number 46, Race Fans, he joins me in the call. How you doing, Chris?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Not too bad either, my friend. So right now, as we look at our points race here, you are in the final 4 here so far with the points race, and it's a pretty tight battle here with you and the crew, and especially with dealing with that McCann Smith field. How does it feel down on the track though today?
You can't pass. That's the worst part. The tires got so much grip coming off and so much horsepower that you just can't pass. So it's kind of just follow the leader unless you want to move somebody. So the car is fast, just can't pass.
Just can't pass here, but I'll ask this real quick though. If there was a way to pass, do you think maybe it comes really late in the run, or the tires still don't quite burn up as much as they should?
There before this caution, I was right there with Brian, Kevin, and Aaron, and I got Lewis come off the corners, lose half a second, come back and catch him about 2 laps. But like I said, you just can't pass without actually moving somebody, and it's way too early for that.
It certainly is indeed. Well, nevertheless though, as we get late in the run, let's see what happens between you and the crew. Best of luck down there, Chris.
Awesome, thank you.
Chris Medford, ladies and gentlemen, the number 46 driver, currently just trying to stay out of trouble, stay out of problematic zones. Another guy that probably wants to stay out of trouble, but you gotta love him for at least trying out here. That's the 34 Doug Wysocki. Dougie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Well, you know, I thought I'd give you a good entrance this time, because I know you always tell me I'm just here for tokens and here for fun.
Hey, I'm here for the fun.
You're here for the fun, and we love you for it. But nevertheless, here as you start to square up, really get a little bit further into this race here, as a guy that's just looking for fun, how difficult is it to get around with Martinsville?
It's tough, man. I mean, once again, like I say every week, this car is just twitchy, man. You just got to be. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it in one piece and keep it straight. Keep it on straight, keep it on line. Well, nevertheless, here, any final words or thoughts before you get back into this? Lord help me. Doug, thank you for your time, buddy. Oh, man, no problem. Thank you. There's a reason we call him Pops, folks. Doug Wysocki having some fun down here. What a showman. Oh, my goodness.
Stage 2 is coming up clean. We're firing back off. Green flag back out. Cook Quick going to be in the 54, moving the chains up ahead. Chris Medford in the 46 right behind him. And you heard Chris there earlier, it's just way too early to be trying to move drivers around, but you can just see how difficult it is for any of these guys to get a move or a jump on them. Look at Chris now, looking to squeak his way on the outside. Nearly got the 54 a little bit loose. He's trying to find a way to pass. He just can't get anything going. He's going to drive it hard on. Drives it harder off. He's trying to get Cook out of the way without taking him out. That's easier said than done. One wrong move of these cars and literally you're going to completely take them out. We've seen what happens before. I go back to LA Coliseum where you have to pretty much just dive it in and hope for the best. And Chris thinks he's got it. No! Cook blocks it. These tire grips right now are definitely getting the better of them. And looking out on the inside, here comes the run. Cook opened the door up. Medford with a strong exit off that line. Pulls the reins back. Cook Quick put back in position. Chris Medford now has a solid position put ahead of him. He needs this. He needs to hang on because stage 2 is going to be where he's going to get some serious points and some serious help from the drivers. If it's hard to pass, then he now knows what he can do and what he'll have at his disposal. Aaron Smith, though, talk about a wildcat on the mission. This man just has no regard for anything. He just gets he pushes and shoves his way back up into the top 5, and he's not even running for keeps here. Oh, look out, Aaron, turn number 1 and 2. We're 3 wide saloon. Brian can't way too far up. Aaron Smith pulled right back ahead. How the heck did McCann save that and Smith put right back with him? But my goodness. They went 3 wide. Cook Quick loses it off of turn number 4, though. We'll throw the yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Woo! Whoa, my friends. You guys want to talk about madness? That's madness. There's a reason they call this a madhouse. This was a madhouse race right here. Look at this. Let's take it to our sky cam here above the speedway. Chris Medford overclocks it off turn number 4. Gives the opening. Brian McCann with the outside move, but he goes into the no man's land. Sends it too far in. Aaron Smith had to try to get it back in there. That's how he saved it. So he gets it off that corner there. That's how he saves the car. Now Cook Quick has to deal with Chris Medford. A little bump. And Cook Quick just had enough of a bump. Lost it. Kevin McCann tried to go for the pass. Too little, too late. Couldn't get it going. Wow, what a storyline of events that just transpired here, folks. That is absolutely chaotic, to say the least. Watch this onboard camera. Watch this. Enters in hot, turn number 3 and 4. Look at this, has to save it, fires it back up. You see how he saves it, though. He doesn't overshoot the throttle. He keeps it nice and controlled. He's already stuck, though, in no man's land. He's got company. But Brian McCann loses it, so now he needs to try to tighten the corner back up, and there it is. And then that final dash down into the turn. Slight tap, wasn't much, but Cook wasn't able to hold on. I mean, can we say it was some... He kind of moved him out of the way, though? I don't really think we can with that 46. Not like that, anyway. You guys be the judge as we go ahead and take it to a quick commercial break. Race fans, when we come back, Stage 2 continues on. We'll be right back after a quick commercial message. Tonight's race here at Martinsville, Virginia, here at Martinsville Speedway, has been presented in part by our friends over at Spartan Logistics Management, LLC. By R&R Racewear, the official merchandise store to get your iRacing merch as well as your IROC Challenge Series merch. By Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. By SimSpeedShop.com. By Track Time Entertainment. And by 5-Star Graphics. A very big thank you from us here at the PTM Racing TV studios and from the IROC Challenge Series for your support. Stage number 2 set to go back up for a green flag start here. We'll get the driver square back up into position and see what happens from here. We're back live now here at Martinsville Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are currently in a hot dogfight here in stage number 2. Entering into the corners here, every driver for themselves, nobody giving an inch and no one letting off the throttle. We saw stage 1, it was pretty tame if you compare to like what they're usually up against and what they're usually doing. But here in this roundabout now, you got to really start paying closer attention to your control and your dynamics of the track. Timing is everything here with this one. Kevin McCann waiting it out right now. Chris Bedford, number 46, currently trying to keep his grip, keep himself under control. Waiting maybe for another mistake here from Chris, because Chris did get loose off of turn number 4 earlier, just by driving harder off the corners and harder off the gas. And he told us earlier too, he can get loose pretty easily, so he's trying to watch himself. You know, to me though, it seems like more than anything, it feels like this is going to be a pit strategy race. The racing itself on track may get good, but I would say this is a pit road strategy race. This is going to honestly make or break each driver, depending on when they go into pit road and when they choose not to. I think time is going to be very reliant, persistent, and these guys need to watch that here. They are very focused, but again, that can change in a dime, and it can change in a heartbeat if they're not careful. Aaron Smith, the number 1 right now, again, was going into today looking to go for a 5th win in the playoffs. It would be an unprecedented, godly amount here, and he's definitely putting on a fight to get up ahead. Neil Quick sent to the outside. Brian McCann getting an opening as well. So McCann moves into 3rd, Smith into 4th. Neil goes back, double trouble, takes him down to the 5th. Meanwhile, back behind him here, David E. Brown, Troy Radford, they are in the midst of a dogfight here, just hoping to get the maximum amount of points they can gather for their championship hopes. The final 4 have not truly been set, and it's extremely difficult to call or figure out who is going to make it into that final 4, because you see what these drivers are up against. You've got Daytona up next week, and we know how these next-gen Cup cars fare on a track like that. It's a very long run ordeal, and it's going to be one of the toughest runs these IROC Challenge Series drivers are going to face up against. They have absolutely no idea who will be able to outsmart and outwit the other, because, frankly, play tracks are just way too incredibly unpredictable. You can't predict them. You can't even figure out whether or not they're going to give you what you want. The same can be even said here with a track like Martinsville, but with the next gens, it seems as though we've kind of reached a bit of a breaking point until you actually start putting those bumpers into one another. And you know, some drivers and fans alike don't like that. They call it dirty racing. To me, it's part of racing the way I look at it, but it just depends on how you did it and where you did it. That really defines you as a driver. But as you can tell, a lot of them right now, they just want to race it clean. They want to race it hard. That's what this IROC Challenge Series is all about. So I will commend and respect them for that all the time. But that don't mean it don't get tricky out here. And Aaron Smith, he opened the door up there on the outside. Now looking inside here with Neil Quick. Neil's starting to get some good runs here. If you get loose the sliced bed, you start to wiggle, that car is not going to get a grip. Aaron gave him an opening. Neil wasn't able to sneeze it though. I think Neil's taking his time. I think he's honestly being patient. He's just kind of watching for an opening. He's watching for a shot. You know, timing is crucial. I'll say that up front. But, you know, long haul wise, I mean, how much will it be for him? That remains to be unknown. Troy Radford for the 94 here, getting right up ahead of the 7 of David E. Brown as we continue to go from our blimp cam here. Stacked, loaded up, and ready to hit up every position they can. Nobody giving an inch and no one giving out on the track. They're all looking to do the same thing and all looking for the same positions. But the way our points format and everything works too, where Chris Medford's at right now, this is pretty much going to guarantee him that he gets into the Final Four with no troubles whatsoever. But that doesn't mean anything when it comes to being raced out here. Kevin McCann decides he wants to play a little hooky. Goes for a big move on the inside, but look at the charge there on the outside. Chris making a great move off there. Managed to hold Kevin back. Kevin may not have been able to grip as good as he wanted to there. Aaron Smith smells blood in the water, though, like a shark in the ocean. He's going for broke. He's going to go for the kill. Outside line looking to work its way in. Trying to get something, but it still won't go. Kevin, though, right in front of him. May be able to hold for the draft. Brian and Aaron right now back and forth, side by side. Both drivers going for broke. Brian needs a good run into the corners. He's not getting a strong exit. He's getting a great entry, but not a good exit. Aaron's getting a much better exit thanks to being able to go a little higher on the outside. Can't get the run, though. Diving in deep, looking for their win. Man, talk about just putting on the horsepower, putting on the speeds, and looking for broke when you can. No gimmies here. And these guys absolutely tearing it up. Oh, McCann, though, way loose off turn 4. Now gives up the run to Neil Quick. And Neil now has some chances to get those bonus points here in stage 2. He needs them badly. He needs to get as much as he can if he wants any chance to head into the final 4. Aaron Smith, desperation time, trying to make a move off. Gets right up there with Kevin McCann. Kevin not giving him very many openings. Cook Quick gotta get taken there from a ride. Oh! Kevin and Cook Quick rocking him off of turn number 2. Chris Mefford, I don't know if he meant to give Cook Quick a bump and run, but it happened there, and my goodness. Kevin McCann sent to the wire, and now this just got really interesting. I don't know if Kevin saw who moved that 54, but I think he might have a good guess. Let's see what happened here, though. It may have been a little bit hard in the corner. We'll take one more look at it here. We were barely catching our eye on it. The PTM instant replay shows all and tells on. Chris looked like he was going for the run. Cook, you can see he backs off, tries to give him a chance, and that's no man's land if you ask me. That was a horrible spot to be put into, and again, there's not much you can do. You heard Chris say earlier, you can't pass. Well, he was going for a broke to stay ahead. And Kevin, you can see he just takes a nice little nudge there. Now, honestly, though, what damage he did get, it's not that bad, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, that is going to settle him back down a little bit. And now, things just got a whole lot more interesting here. Well, Chris Medford right now going to go back around the playing field and back from pit road. But my race fans, what a complete wild race this has been from the start to the finish. Everybody pouring it on here in stage number 2 as we enter in closer to stage 3. Well, there's really only one more driver we have yet to talk to that will actually like to talk with us here, and that is going to be Ray Radford here in the number 49 and or 47, excuse me. Ray, right now things have been a little bit hard to get around the track and having to get out of the way a few times for these guys being in the lap down section. How difficult is it kind of for you to kind of look at this race and have to get it with this position? I think he might have his mic off here, folks, so we'll have to... Yeah, I think he's got the mic off, so we'll go ahead and just leave him alone there. I think he may be kind of done with the race today. Well, that's really all we got for drivers to talk with here in this case, except for Tim Schofield. Tim Schofield actually just running race control right now, so we'll leave him alone here as we get settled back down. Look at the amount of laps left and look at the timing now. These guys have at their disposal. This is absolutely chaotic, and that's one thing I absolutely love about Martinsville with these kind of laps, this kind of marker. Positioning going to be extremely key, but now you got to wonder, you know, Kevin McCann suffered some damage earlier, and guess who's right in front of him? You wonder to yourself, is he planning to put a bumper on that 46 as payback for getting into Cook Quick and costing him some speed in that car? All these questions and then some about to be answered here. Right around off of turn number 4, back to the green. We're off, we're underway. And now I believe we have now closed up onto the final stages here. We're nearing the end of it. Entering down 3 wide, salute possibly. Chris Medford going for broke. Wysocki in the mix. Wally on the outside. Set high and dry. Neil Quick though. Troubles out of turn 4. The number 2 driver losing too much grip, too much speed. Now gets put back behind the 8 ball. He's going to have to try to hang on. Every one of the other drivers now moving in their chains here. Brian McCann trying to get something going in the 3. Looking to get up there. Kevin McCann. Now again, Brian doesn't need to make any big risks or any big moves. He just needs to stay focused on what he's up to. But I kind of wonder here, is Kevin, with how close he's getting, does he feel like pulling a Logano to Byron? He's got Medford right in front of him here. If he wants to do it, he can certainly go for it. If I was Kevin, I wouldn't make too many more enemies. He's still got a new season coming up. Chris Medford, I guarantee you, definitely was probably thinking I probably shouldn't have gotten Cook earlier. That might come back to haunt me. Again, kind of the hard racing aspect. What will he do? Will he let the 33 buy him? Oh, looks like he's not going to let anybody buy him there. Oh, trouble down there for the 8-3 of Brandon Medford yet again, and we've got problems on the track. Problems, problems, problems. Yet again, more trouble seizing the opportunity here on that 83. And, you know, Brandon Medford needed a good point stay. He needed a good position battle, and this is not helping his cause any. Now, for what it's worth, didn't suffer too much damage, it looks like, from the hit, but the same can't be said on his long run. See him slamming the brakes there, just hoping for the best, hoping that he doesn't do too much damage. Aaron Smith now having to head into pit road. His timing a little bit off on the fuel, and he knows it too. It's going to cost him a little bit here and cost him a little bit of time under the track. Will he be able to get back up to the front? He's got a lot of work to do because Chris Medford has taken the spot up, but behind him lies the McCann boys, and maybe a little redemption coming up. Will a receipt be taken here at Martinsville? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, presented in part by our friends at Spartan Logistics Management, LLC. By R&R Racewear, the official merchandise store for your IROC Challenge Series and iRacing in general. Thank you to R&R Racewear for the support. By Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. By SimSpeedShop.com. By Track Time Entertainment, and by 5-Star Graphics. A very big thank you from the IROC Challenge Series and us here at PTM Racing TV Studios for your support and longevity to the drivers and the races today. Well, look at the amount of laps we got left, and look at who is in the positions now. Aaron Smith made a very good call here going in for that fuel and going for that run, but in my opinion, the McCanns and Medford, they were outsmarting him when it comes to the long haul because they know how difficult it is to pass. And unless you start moving some drivers, that's where it's going to get difficult. I don't see guys going too crazy here with that. I think they may back off a little bit, but they will get aggressive. Don't get me wrong there. I don't saying they're going to get aggressive here in a minute. Believe me, I believe they're going to get very, very aggressive. But the way I'm seeing it right now, I think and I feel that it's going to be a very wide open playing field and wide open shots. The field sets it down in 3 and 4. You see how many laps we got left. This could get interesting. Off the corners of the final turns. Down to 4. We go green. Final 4 in jeopardy. Who will make it in? Aaron Smith on the outside trying to get back into that run. Will fight hard though with Brian McCann. David E. Brown, if I was you, I'd start going for it, buddy. And he's going to go for it. Yes, indeed. Gets a run here. Got a little charge coming up. Kevin McCann right behind Chris Mefford, though, looking for another shot. Trying to sneak his way around the track here. They'll both go battling back and forth here. They're still at each other's throats, at each other's game plan here. Brian dealing with that Aaron there on the back end of the crack here. David did not take a shot at the one of Aaron Smith. I feel that may be a mistake. You need to take risks now because this car is not going to give you much other choices. I think they're looking at it from a deeper point of view. They see how many laps is left. They don't want to go for that yet. They don't want to do it. Honestly, I think if you see any openings, you've got to go for it. Because if the tire wear is not that bad, then I feel as though the car can handle it. A little bit of a nudge off of turn number 2 there from the wall. Wally there, he's going to have a lot of hit. Got a lot of damage there sprung apart there. Looks like he'll have to deal with a little bit of it entering through the late stages of this race. This is your final stage, race fans. This is the final closing laps. Anybody's guess as to who can take this one home. Brian McCann not entering in desperation mode just yet. He's been pretty lenient, pretty clairvoyant on how he wanted to hold off the rest of the charge. He's watching every corner, watching every spot. Very, very carefully, to say the least. He knows all he needs to do is just get points. Chris Mefford, though, in the 46, this isn't just a matter of getting points. This is getting something he hasn't been to in a while. He wants that race win. The 46 has been so close so many times before. Has been put into a few bad spots and put into a bad run or two every now and then. This may be his golden opportunity to finally take shape and take aim. Kevin McCann, though, you can see just kind of an onlooker, just thinking more and more about what he wants to do. And he's seeing openings left and right here on that number 46, but Mefford's not giving him enough time. There is a lot of grip. And those tires, those Goodyears, definitely being put to full use and full extent. I'm surprised how much they haven't wear or tore and really wear it out. The tire wear, I usually would think, be a little bit more rough on the edges, but no, it's the opposite here. Looking at the back of the pack right now here, the rest of these guys continuously march to the beat of their own drums, march to the tune of their own band. Cook Quick, I think right now probably feeling like he's the worst luck driver of the bunch here. He had the race lead, he had a chance to hold on the laps, hold on to positions, then either got moved, got bunched, or got shoved, or thrown around a little bit. I don't know if Chris Mefford and him are going to exactly be eye to eye for a little bit as well. I think they may be not able to go to dinner for a second. 25 laps to go though here on PTM Racing TV. And David E. Brown right now, though, looking at the points race here, again, considering he's in 6th with Brandon Mefford just barely above him, of 4,050 to 4,044. Brandon Mefford is not going to get much points here because of how bad he is position-wise. So if David E. Brown can stay in this run and stay where he's at, he's going to have himself a very good day in the points race. He's going to move one up at least, up Brandon Mefford. But Troy Radford is going to be a bit of a wild card here because at 4,064, he's still a good chunk behind him. It's still a good chunk that needs to get in the points race. He's only 3 up right now of Troy. Troy is hoping though for Daytona to be kind of a saving grace, bit of a helping hand down there, considering how much he lost here and how much position-wise he's really lost on the track. Chris Mefford though, as long as he finishes this race out, I'd say honestly he's a lock. So which means that final 4 spot is going to be extremely, extremely difficult to grab. Question though I have again is Kevin McCann going to hold back, or is he going to give it to that 46 for earlier? He knows it was Cook Quick that got spun around, but he knows who did it, who was the instigator of it. And that's what I'm just kind of questioning. Is he going to give it back to him? He's getting a lot of chances. He's getting a lot of openings to do it. He just isn't taking that chance yet. And Brian McCann, the number 3 here, pretty much playing it safe. Aaron Smith doing much the same. It really is. Well, why would they not want to play it safe here? Oh, look out! Turn 4! We were asking for it. We seen it. Mefford gets the tag from the 33. And Chris Mefford gets a nudge and a bump from the 33. Brian moves into the lead. Well, we asked, we thought, we may see it. And Chris, well, let's just say he's not too thrilled about that. That is going to, I gotta guarantee you that 46 is ticked. And this guy may just give that 33 something to think about. But in all honesty, that was kind of the receipt from earlier, but I don't think the 46 cares too much. These guys back and forth out here. Oh, Neil Quick! Lost it in turn 4. Got a little nudge there from David Brown. Quick fires it back up. Troy Radford trying to get back up. That may have been a mistake by David to do that at Neil. He needs Radford to stay back a ways here from him. Late race shenanigans, late race chaos. This is what Martinsville's all about, race fans. The paperclip now being put into full effect. Aaron Smith looking to get the 5th win of his career in the playoffs now on this season. Can he get the inside corner of Brian? No, he can't there. Brian holds him back. And Chris Mefford off of turn 4 spins it. We've got a caution. Loses a spot to David, but the good news for Mefford is he's going to the inside. Oh my goodness, folks. Oh my goodness. We need to go back and look at this here real quick. We want to take a close look at this. Watch the 33 and the 46 tangle it up. Watch them entering into that turn. Watch this. Was there contact? I can tell you there was contact there. Looks like he got him good in the back. One more look at it though from another angle, and then we'll take a look at the little spin. The chopper cam tells all. There it is right there. You can hear the touch. You can hear it right there. It was a slight tap, but I don't think Kevin meant to do it. It just kind of happened, but in his mind, he probably didn't mind doing it, especially for earlier. Unfortunately, though, for Chris Mefford, he then found himself in a very bad spot as that damage on that 46 puts him into this little rut. Gets a piece there, Kevin. And you can see that damage on that left side there. It was tore up a bit. We'll see when he spins out here. We might have to go back for a little bit here, producers. I believe it was this lap right here. Nope, was not that lap, so it looks... Oh, it was the next lap here. Here we go. Alright, here for sure is a spin. Watch what happens to Mefford here. He's driving hard to get to McCann, and then car just completely sidewinded. Wow, unbelievable. I am shocked right now. I'm not shocked that the bumpers were used, and I'm not shocked the hard racing was put into etiquette, but what I am shocked is Chris Mefford found himself in the lead, and yet again, Lady Luck deals him a hand he can't go with, but he's not out of it yet. The downside for him, though, is he's now in the 6th spot. Neil Quick moves into 5th. Chris has to go to the outside. I would not, in my lifetime, in a next-gen Cup car, want to be on that outside line. This could punt him back even further, giving Radford, David E. Brown, and Neil Quick a chance to get into the Final 4. Race fans, absolutely chaos and madness here on PTM Racing TV. And we are now approaching the final leg of this race. The laps wind down, positions winding in. Here we go. Do or die. Make your choice. Well, these drivers are going to do, that's for sure. David Brown now. All his work, all that effort, now thrown into question. Troy Radford hard on the gas to the inside. He's trying to get back all the positions he can. Got a new bumper on the front of that hood. Might have a chance here. Chris Medford moving back into the fight. Needs position, so he needs it badly. 9 now goes 8 laps to go. Chris is driving like an absolute maniac on the outside, trying to get it to go hard off. Hard charge to the inside. David, is he going to give it? Yes, he will. Medford gets the run. Now trying to hunt down the rest. Brian McCann in a hot dog fight though with that number 1 of Aaron Smith with 7 to go. Not gonna lay off anything now. McCann trying to put Smith in his place and remind him he's going for a championship as well. Titles at stake, titles on the line. Napier off turn 4, loses in the corner. He'll fire it back up and square it up again. Neil Quick having a good race here. If he can finish in 4th, he'll have a chance in the Final 4 next week to go for broke. Auto Club Speedway awaits 4 drivers, but they first must get past Daytona and the track they see now. Smith, though, looks like he doesn't want to wait till Daytona to make some runs here. Brian McCann, though, locked the brakes. He locked the brakes into turn number 3 and 4. He opened the door up for the 1. He's got to be careful here. Locks it up yet again. That's a good charge off the back straightaway here, looking for the positions. Brian trying to hold on. Smith looking for another opening. It's literally a madhouse. Smith gets around McCann. Yellow is out, and Brian McCann's race may have just ended under the wire. You saw the 3 was starting to lose some speed, starting to lose a little bit of that control in the corners, and yet again, it appears Brian struggles to hang on a short track level. He gave it everything he had, but you saw earlier the tires starting to give out on him. He was starting to shred him up slightly, and this right here, he catches the corner just way too much. I don't think there was contact between him and Aaron Smith from that camera angle there. We'll take one more look at from our chopper cam, but I think it was the apron that catches the 3 off guard. There it is right there. No contact made from Smith. Absolutely wild. I mean, unbelievable, race fans. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, could you have asked for an absolutely more psychotic, insane race than this one? We saw earlier, it was pretty tame and cool, but the late stage of this race has now thrown everybody into disarray and thrown them all over the place. Absolutely nobody is safe now for this one. Medford will get the inside run. David E. Brown's going to have to go on the outside. Troy Radford moves back into 4th. He needs to get a top 3 possibly to give himself an absolute barn burner of a chance. Brandon Medford, he's going to pretty much be down and out after this one. He's going to need Daytona to help him out. He's too far back and he's already laps down, and that damage on that 8.3 has cost him dearly. Neil Quick, though, talk about literally a career resurgence these last couple races. Might have a chance here, a big points day for him, and he'll be ahead of Brandon Medford by a few. He's up there with Tim Schofield, and he may just be able to knock him down a few spots. David Brown, Brandon Medford, though, I mean, that's a wild card in its own right. And Troy Radford, he's got the final position here in the final four. He needs these points, and he needs them badly to stay ahead of those other guys. As for Chris Medford, if he can just finish where he's at, he'll be okay going into Daytona, but he needs to stay away from trouble. But for one, Aaron Smith and Kevin McCann, it's not a matter of the points. It's a matter of being able to get that 5th win of the season. And on a green-white checkered basis, this could absolutely tear down the house, tear down the field. The fans are on their feet. No one is sitting down here. Chris Wally saying Neil is in a must-win situation. He certainly is indeed. Well, bring him back to start. Green is out. Oh, well, no more wrist win anymore. Completely tore into turn 3. Into turn 1 and sent straight to the Shadow Realm. Oh my goodness. That may have just been the end of number 2's run. Neil Quick's season may just be over with. Neil Quick, Troy Radford, they can't believe it. They cannot believe what just happened here. I don't think we can believe it either. Chris Medford really had nowhere to go. He thought he had the run, the speed, and you can see he just completely got that 2 of Neil Quick. And yeah, I don't know how to really feel about that one, or really how to go about that in this case. All I can say is it's short track. I get it. It was a green-white checkered scenario. But I mean, this is an unfortunate situation here. And Troy Radford, too, punted back in position and punted back in the field. His race is over. Unless he can get the damage fixed, which is going to have to be worked on now. Neil Quick is out. His championship hopes is over. The man that was so close to being your season champion on the regular stage, getting knocked down, dethroned as a points leader by Brian McCann late into the season, start of the OG season. Now in the playoffs, finds out what Kevin Harvick felt in 2020. Unreal. Absolutely unbelievable. Racing can be such a cruel sport, and sometimes there's no getting around it. Top 5 right now. Smith, McCann, Medford, Brown, Wally. Anybody's race now here for this final positions. But who will it be? They have 2 more green-white checker attempts coming up. Yellow flag is in the air. We will throw the green out next time by. The knockout style of playoff racing is such a cruel dilemma and is such a cruel disarray, but that is what it has been done before, and that's why they use it. It makes for some interesting times, but it definitely makes for the most difficult of times to deal with. Off of corner number 4. One more chance. One more chance at getting some serious help. McCann sent to the outside. Medford moves him up. No touch, but just getting around him. Aaron Smith has the lead. Medford trying to get to the 1, maybe for one last big move off. White flag in the air. Medford wants all that number 1. He's going to go for broke. He said earlier it was too early to make the move. Does he make the move now? He's running out of time. Off of corner number 4. One more time by. And he's not going to get it. There's trouble off of turn 4, though. Trouble off turn 4. They wreck him completely out. And a huge list of drivers sent around. David E. Brown may have just had his season eclipsed and thrown out of here. Doug Wysocki moves into 3rd. And Jeff Napier goes 4th. Kevin McCann goes 5th. Are you kidding me right now? Aaron Smith will escape with the 5th win of the season, but not without literally escaping with absolute chaos and pandemonium on this track today. The man out of Hollywood, South Carolina is going to take another one home. Puts one in victory lane here in Virginia, but he certainly found out what hard racing can do to you sometimes and what it can bring to the table. This was one of the most insane final races we've ever seen to get into a championship hunt. And the race results now pop up with it. Smith, Mefford, Wysocki, Napier, McCann, Wally, Brown, Brian McCann, Cook Quick, and Brandon Mefford, your top 10. I want to know one little thing, though. Before we talk with the top 3, before we talk with those drivers, we did not see what happened in turn number 3 and 4 from a good camera angle. We're now about to see it. Well, drivers got sent on around here. I think we saw, I think the 5 might have got into the 33. So one more look. Entering in turn number 3, it looked like a hard racing move and a bad spot to be put into. Wysocki, Napier getting right there with Brandon Medford because he was a lap down. And Kevin McCann absolutely tore up that equipment down there to the end and allowed the number 1 of Aaron Smith to come away with the spot today. We're now about to talk with the drivers here. This one could get interesting. Doug Wysocki joins me here now. Your top 3 in the podium. Wysocki, you said you were just out here for fun. I don't think you were expecting this, were you?
Not at all, man. A product of a little aggression, I do believe, and I come out on the right end.
Came right in at the right time, right place, as we've seen before. Sometimes that's all you need in this cruel world of motorsports. But, my friend, as you threw everything to the wire and gave yourself quite a showcase here, tell me, what was it like just to be able to put this thing back in and get a 3rd place finish here?
It was a blast, man. I mean, I enjoy it, man. These are a good group of guys to race with, man. Appreciate Wally for everything they do, Spartan, R&R. I mean, it's a blast. You guys up in the booth. Just have a good time, man. That's all. That's what it's about for me.
You certainly do indeed, and what a performance here by you and the crew here. Anybody else you want to thank before we sign you off with this one?
Yeah, man, all my teammates at Falcon Motorsports. Like I said, Wally, Spartan, R&R. You guys up in the booth there? I mean, it's great. I'm having a blast.
Have a blast. Have a good time. Wysocki, a 3rd place finish for you and the crew. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Wysocki pulls up a miraculous upset there, coming away 3rd. Maybe a driver that a lot of folks kept their eye on late into this race is that 2nd place finisher and Chris Mefford, the 46. And Mefford, what else can you say besides it's definitely Martinsville racing, all right?
First and foremost, I know it means nothing now, but I want to apologize to Neil and Troy and them guys. I missed my braking point by just a split second compared to Neil. And I think I injected his rear end up and then shot him to the inside. So, first of all, huge apologize to him. No, Martinsville is just, like I said earlier, just hard to pass.
It is extremely hard to pass, and you did say and kind of allude to earlier on that eventually those bumpers were going to have to be used to get anything to go, and I know obviously you just mentioned a minute ago you didn't want to play it that way, you didn't want to go that route, but I mean, at the same time, does Martinsville kind of force it on you guys a little bit? Does it kind of just get you into that position to where it is just kind of inevitable?
Yeah, it really does, but it's pure ignorance by me. Like I said, I should have had uh, no reason to hit them like that. Like I said, I wasn't trying to. I was actually trying to stay off of them. I had a really good restart, was pushing them down the straightaway, and just missed my breaking point. But no, there was a couple times I was leading, and just a lapper kept, cutting my nose, and then, taking the preferred lane away whenever it was obviously faster. And it made the second place guy get the inside of me a couple times, and I got stuck a nose in the inside and just barely nudged him, and it moved him out of the way, and he just slid back down the track and collected the guy behind me.
Certainly a bit of a rough ride here for some of the guys, and yourself included here today, but nevertheless, though, as you kind of sign off and kind of get this one put under the books here and get ready for Daytona, is there anybody you want to at least thank for the second place finish today?
Oh yeah, thank you for the broadcast, and thank everybody for running hard. I know I ran crappy with some people, so I said I apologize. A good run for Doug Wasaki. I think it might have been his first top three of the season. He had a heck of a race. He said yet again, I apologize to Neil. He said I can't say it enough. I know I'll be getting an earful from him here in a little bit. Uh, shout out to all the sponsors for the series. Wally, Pentagraph. Without them guys, would make it happen.
For sure there. Whenever that's Chris, congratulations at least on a second place finish. I know it's probably not the way you wanted it to play out, but you will have to. I'll take it at least going into the Daytona race, my friend.
Yep, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Bedford here in the 46. He'll take it, but under what circumstances in his mind, you'll have to figure that out coming to Daytona. Nevertheless, though, race fans, he now joins me with the victory and the W. There's a reason why we got a number 1 on the side of his car. Aaron Smith winning it out at Martinsville, my friend, and what a long road this was. The 5th race win of your season in the playoffs, that is. I've got to believe you're stoked for this one.
Yeah, I certainly didn't expect it coming into tonight. I felt terrible during practice. Couldn't really get more than 5 laps in without spinning the car out. But kept my nose clean. The only person I wrecked was myself, and brought home the win.
The only person you wrecked out there and had a lot of wild spots, wild position to be thrown into. I mean, really at the end of the day, though, too, like how tricky and circumstantial was it getting for you and the crew when you knew that these tires were not going to get burnt in enough, you were going to have another line to really work with, and you had to find a way to pass around here eventually?
Yeah, it was. Everyone was so close on pace. I mean, the top 5 was right on top of each other the whole race. But you had to wait for the car in front of you to make a mistake or get a really good run out of the corner on the bottom and hope they let you down there. But yeah, I feel like I played my cards pretty well.
You certainly did indeed, and an absolute clutch performance at Martinsville of all things. Smith, you've got 2 races left. Of course, Daytona, really nothing to really sneeze or worry about, I would say. Your points race has kind of locked you in, but Auto Club awaits you at the same time. What is going to be the biggest final thing you want to say before you sign off and say thanks to everyone as well?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for putting this show on, youth broadcasting, as well as the folks at the Satellite Racing Team for their support. And lastly, everyone watching. Looking forward to getting out at Daytona. I hope I finish the race next week, but not too sure. Got a lot of tempers going on in the Facebook chat.
I would presume there's probably a little bit of stuff going down there, I will say. I haven't seen the Facebook chat yet, which I would presume there's definitely a few spots in there, so. Alright, anyway, though, Smith, we really appreciate coming on board here, sir. Congratulations for the race win, and we'll see you come next week at Daytona and then Auto Club for the championship.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, locking this one up for our Final 4 appearance, Aaron Smith in the number 1. Well, what can you say? Martinsville Speedway, man. It's a madhouse in itself. But we have Daytona left on the race before the big one, Auto Club. Who is going to make it in? We'll find out soon enough. But nevertheless, thank you to Spartan Logistics Management, LLC, R&R Racewear, Loud Pedal Gaming TV, SimSpeedShop.com, Track Time Entertainment, and 5-Star Graphics for your support this season. We thank you in large part from the IROC Challenge Series and PTM Racing TV studios. And with that said, we thank you everyone for tuning in. We have absolutely no idea what will happen next week. You just got to stay tuned and find out. But the Final 4 are nearly set. 1 race left before the finale. We'll see you then.